Hello. One of the topics that's going on these days is about that we should move on to high-end tourism and also a tourism that is more quality-based, which is absolutely right, and that's a very good direction forward. But one thing that we should not forget is that our smallholders, our people who are having B&Bs, people who have a TripAdvisor sticker on their tuk-tuk, on their van, the vendor in the train, or anybody who are directly or indirectly involved. So if you as a majority, so they are more sustained with budget and mid-range travelers. So as a nation, as a industry, the most amount of the wealth distribution is happened through mid and low range travelers. So if you cut that off or if you reduce that off, that is not good for the sustainability, and that will also invariably create a friction between local communities and with the travelers, which is not good. So how we to see this? We have to see this subjectively. So we have to make sure that we increase the human capacity of the travel, the people who are in the mid and the lower range, make them more efficient, use education and positive government policies to uplift them and to make their products much more value added and much more nicer, and same time focus on getting high end travelers. So, and again, another misconception that we have is always that we are the nations that who always say, like, oh, these people are going on the buses and everything, and like, but if you had to analyze them, if you look at a gap year student who's just coming out from their high school and just traveling around the world, so this student who might go on a bus, they might stay on a cheap accommodations, they might stay eat local food, but the impression that you're creating in Sri Lanka is very valued, because these are the same students who go into university, become doctors, become bankers, become lawyers, and they might also come back again to Sri Lanka as a mid-range traveler, and these are the same guys who will become, when they're after 40, 45 to 50, more high-end travelers with their wealth, increasing of their wealth and experience in their professions. So we have to understand sort of this life cycle of a traveler. So if we want to get high-end travelers in more sustainably, we have to make sure that we nurture the traveler that who was going to be a high-end one day in Sri Lanka, sort of a amazing lifetime value of a budget traveler. So we have to make sure, and these days there's so many places that we can target, especially market our campaigns with all those data going around the world. So we make sure that we have to make sure that we are attracting as a percentage more university students, uh, more intellectual people, and also if you look at especially social media plays a big role. And if you look at again statistically, the more younger people who are uh, mainly budget and mid range, they are the more active in social media, and they are doing billions of dollars worth, not billions of dollars, millions of dollars worth of marketing for us for free. So we should not lose that. So we should again make sure that we attract quality, authentic influencers to Sri Lanka. Places like Allah, I mean, even look at now, even though there's no tourists in Sri Lanka, if you look at Instagram, there's so much content is put forward by these guys. So we shouldn't lose that by just becoming so greedy and becoming more focused on high-end travelers. So yeah, one thing that I have to say that we have to ask questions. Yes, policies are coming up and the policies can be good, but if you don't ask the questions, that doesn't, you can even, question is always not about making looking things negatively. It's actually questions and feedbacks can also make things more positive and more developed. So again, high-end tourism is important, but we should make sure that we keep the roots of our tourism. And again, don't compare Sri Lanka with Maldives, or don't compare Sri Lanka with uh, Singapore. Again, two different destinations. Uh, Even though they are small islands similar to us, Sri Lanka is much more culture based, more people based tourism product. And again, another thing is that in a way it's R&D of ideas. So high-end tourism to Sri Lanka or tourism to Sri Lanka should not be somebody's success story. We should analyze, again, as was what I said in the previous video, we should learn from the past and develop the lessons that we have learned, and to suit to us. We should get feedback from others, but shouldn't follow them or blind faith them. Uh, so that's what I want to say. And always welcome questions and feedbacks. Just let me know, and that'll help me to make more videos and more works and put my more thoughts. And also, I encourage anybody out there. I'm just using this is with my cell phone. Just do something like this. Put your idea forward, and that's the best way for us to make Sri Lanka tourism and Sri Lanka a more prosperous country. Thank you very much.